American Water Polo.
Hi, this is Dan Newman from American Water Polo, and we're here today to profile the Water Polo Club, Eagle Water Polo, and to check out, meet Jarod Stentiford to see how he's doing. How you doing, Jarod?
Good. How are y'all doing up there?
We're doing well. We're holding up. All things considered.
Yeah, good to hear. Staying safe. I think that's the most important thing. So
It is. It is. So tell me a little bit about the club. Where are you guys located? The age groups you work with, and maybe some of the mission of the program.
yeah, so we're actually located in Atlanta, Georgia. The Eagles Water Polo Club is it's part of kind of a high school team, kind of just north of downtown Atlanta. I'm the girls coach, and in regards to age groups, we don't necessarily have age group breakdowns, but I work with girls from the ages of 11 all the way up through senior 18 years old. So we got some fifth graders that practice with us that don't play in the games, but sixth graders through 12th grade is the age group that I deal with on a weekly basis.
Okay, cool, excellent. So you've got kids from middle school to high school, and you typically work with the female.
Yeah. It's an interesting group to deal with because there's so many different. I mean, age groups. From 11 to 18, the skill level is it's so different, and having to deal with them all as one group sometimes.
Right.
It's an interesting challenge. I love it, but it's an interesting challenge. So.
Cool, that's awesome. So what have you been doing to keep yourself busy during these times? I know you and I have been kind of playing back and forth to get on this call, so obviously you're staying busy.
Yeah. No. I'm still working. Like I mentioned earlier, my business is part of an essential business. So we're still in the office every single day, every single weekday. In regards to staying in shape, we try to do some running, some yard work. You drive by any Lowe's right now. I think they're having the best business ever because that's one of the only things people can really do.
Yeah.
It's kind of yard work.
They're running a lot of sales too. I've been tempted to go out.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I drive around, so I see it's been pretty crazy and pretty busy out there. But just work, really. I mean, to be honest, it's weird to kind of say, am I one of the lucky ones? No, I mean, I'm out here right now dealing with the possibility that my employees and myself can be infected, but I'm also not stuck at home, having to kind of deal with that as well. So it's kind of a mixed blessing. But yeah, just trying to stay in shape, trying to, get back into running, stuff like that, stuff that I haven't done in a really long time. Obviously all the pools are closed down here in Georgia. So we don't have access to anything like that. All the gyms are closed. So just kind of doing, the individual thing that you can figure out to stay in shape is kind of what I'm trying to do right now.
I think that's really important. Yeah, we're getting back in shape and running. I've taken it up too. It's my favorite thing, but
there's a lot of walking. It wasn't so much running.
Well, yeah. You put a podcast in and maybe walk for an hour. That happened to me this morning. So that was, what? If I can get out of my own head for an hour, I don't mind.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, have you been keeping in touch with some of your athletes? How they've been handling, making the transition to, distance learning?
Yeah, I have been keeping in touch with some of them. Some of them are doing really, really well. Some of them enjoy it. Some of them have a hard time. I know, having the interaction with your teacher one-on-one is a completely different aspect to having that the screen interaction. It's a different mentality. I think it's a different commitment. It's weird. I've done, just on the side note, I've done online schooling for myself and in-person schooling when I went to college, and you have to kind of commit yourselves, and I'm sure parents are having to push their kids a lot to sit there and do the learning. The interesting thing is my assistant coach is a teacher, and she hates that she misses her kids terribly, and I think for a lot of teachers, because they do love their kids so much, it's been very, very difficult for them. But most of the kids, I think they're adapting, they're getting used to it. It'll be interesting to see when they go back how they deal with everything like that in that regard. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I've been talking to a few of them. They seem to be doing okay. They missed the pool terribly. I think they're starting to cancel the swim league here in the summertime as well. So that's also unfortunate. But most of them are trying to do the best that they can to stay in shape and do some workouts. I was just talking to one of my assistant coaches yesterday, and she has two younger sisters on the team, and they were throwing the ball around and going for runs. And actually, they had a really good exercise. They were doing egg toss, which is kind of cool. Yeah, they're just throwing eggs around. But, that teaches the whole concept of catching a ball, and so that was pretty cool. But, yeah, I'm sure they're going to be very grateful when they get back in the pool, how much they missed it,
I'm certainly too. And to talk about that, what is something that, you look forward to most when you get to return to the pool deck with your athletes?
I think, first of all, just seeing them, right? I have a very close relationship with, I think, a lot of the girls on my team in regards to, I see myself as not only, a leader on the team, but also, a father figure to some degree. And, every year we go back, every year the springtime goes around, there's a 3 to 4 month lull while they're swimming where I don't get to see them. And, that first 1 or 2 practices, it's just it's a joy to see the players. And I'm not getting that opportunity this year. I just know how they're doing, know that they're safe, getting to see them, getting to work on a common goal, getting them back in shape, seeing how much they've improved, how much, what we have to work on. There's a whole gambit of stuff that I'm looking forward to getting back in the pool and seeing them. And I think with a lot of coaches with high school, there's a joy that we take with teaching and educating and sharing our knowledge with them to love the sport that we love. And just passing that on. I mean, that for me is going to be the big thing. And I tell you, the one thing I do miss the most is seeing when they're like, you're teaching something and they're working on it and they're working on it and they're working on it, they just don't get it again, and they actually get it and they figure it out and they figure out how to catch a ball or how to like egg beats or how to shoot. And it's just like such a huge kind of epiphany moment for them and for you. And you get to actually share that enjoyment with them because you've worked so hard to get there. So I'm looking forward to something like that. I know there's a lot of young students that I didn't get an opportunity to kind of do some more coaching with this springtime. So we'll have to, work on it in the fall time.
Yeah, I think that those aha moments are, you miss those as coaches, and
right.
And you hope to see that. You hope to get back in the pool and continue to develop those, for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So as a lot of athletes are, on their screens and working remotely from home, maybe exercising. Do you have a good book recommendation, whether it's whether it's in the athletic field or just something for them to kind of get away from the social media, or picking a book up like we all love?
Yeah. Not per se in regards to an exact one. I mean, I have a gambit of stuff that I read. I'm kind of reading Don Quixote right now, which is a $1,000 novel, which is arduous and difficult. If anything, growing up, yeah. I always loved the Dune series. It's a 3-book series. It's a sci-fi series. I know they're coming out with a new movie. That's always been a great series that I read that, of course. I've never read the Harry Potter ones. I hear they're great. So
I enjoyed them.
Yeah. And then, Lord of the Rings, I know it's a little cliche, but I mean, that's just also a great series. I look for books generally in series. I mean, what I do is usually when I go to the bookstore, I'll find a book and I'll find the first one of that book. And if I like it, I'll kind of consume the whole series of them. Okay. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm reading some book. It's about assassins. I mean, it's a fantasy novel, but Dune has always been a great one with me. I've actually read the additional books. There's like an additional 9 books on top of it. I read them in a row, which was a little too intense, but that's a great one. I think it's a great story, and especially if you only have to read one book. The first book is like a really, really good book. So that's something that it takes you off planet and kind of take your mind off what's going on right now. And it's a good read if you enjoy sci-fi. So.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a good recommendation to get into that in particular, and also to jump into some series. And
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
with some idle time on our hands, it's good to be able to read a couple books in a row and kind of really get into something.
Yeah, yeah,
Excellent. Well, Jarod, this has been a pleasure learning more about the program. I'll just learn more about yourself. I really appreciate the time.
yeah.
This is Damon Newman from American Water Polo. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, our website, AmericanWaterPolo.org. And remember, it's important to stay connected to what's important to you.